What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. My name's Christian and that's Gabby. Today we're going to be talking about specifically how to get a snatched waist. What does that mean? Is getting rid of lung handles, making your waist a little smaller, the diet you need to do that, and a lot more. So guys, stay tuned and we'll get to it.
So first thing, one of the most common questions that I get asked is, do you waist train? And the answer is no, I don't waist train.
What is waist train?
It's like a corset, the one that you put around and it buckles and you pull it super tight and it pulls your waist in. I don't believe in them personally. I think that it's more of a gimmick than anything else. Are you really looking at waist trainer right now?
Well, I just want to see. Oh.
It's a corset.
Damn. That shit looks like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
Okay, so explain to them the difference between a waist trainer and an actual Okay, so there's a difference between a waist trainer and a sweatband. A waist trainer is something that you buckle up to push yourself together. A sweatband is something you put around your stomach that isn't very compressed. It just heats up your core. So what that does is basically make your body more energetically efficient there with burning more calories, and it just shrinks your waist. That's how it works. So what do you think about the waist trainers?
I think that they're gimmicky and I've never personally used one. But they're not really, I don't want to say healthy for your body, but they're not good to use. They constrict your airway, well not airway, but your lungs and your breathing, and some people actually dislocate ribs because of them, depending on how severe you do it.
Alright, so story time. When I was prepping for my show, I would wear the waist trainer, not the one that you buckle up, but the sweatband. And if you wear it consistently for a long time, it actually does help. It gets rid of a lot of water weight too. So if you're going on the beach or something, that actually will help if you wear it 3-4 days beforehand, consistently. What it does is just shrinks your waist. It shrinks your waist via water weight, and it'll actually make you a little tighter in the core section. Yeah.
When I was still going to 24-hour fitness, I would put on the sweatband and go into the sauna and do a few crunches and oblique twists in there, and that really helped kind of shrink my waist. And definitely with the water weight, I do agree with that. It helps you lose a lot of water weight in that area, and when you take it off, you can actually feel it, you feel lighter in your core area. Alright, so the next one is exercises you can do to get a snatched waist. Christian always told me that it's not necessary. So when I was training with Christian, I asked him if I needed to be training abs every day, and he told me no, that's not necessary. And the reason is because when you are weight training and you're picking up the weights for different parts of your body, your core is always contracted, and that's what's keeping you balanced. And whether you know it or not, your core is always working. So when you weight lift, your core is always engaged and you're always using it.
Let me put it this way. If you're working out properly, you are using your core. One thing to keep in mind when you're using I don't believe necessarily in weights involving with core exercises. For example, weighted sit-ups, stuff like that. Especially what they call spinal compression. So I don't know if you've ever seen somebody in the gym mimicking a bench press and lifting their legs up. What that does is just puts too much pressure on your spine and your body. So you always want to keep finding yourself using bodyweight exercises for your core. Makes you more shredded, and if you're doing it right, your core is going to be activated during your workout anyway. So it is important to train your core for a snatched waist, but if you're working out right, your core should be like a secondary muscle that's working out with you. Obviously, you do want to do a core routine consistently, which is what I preach. You should be seeing core definition as you progress in your workouts, because you're learning how to use your core more efficiently and stuff like that. So that's my best answer.
And for the core routine, keep it simple and basic, like crunches, sit-up, oblique twists. What are the leg ones?
What do they call a coregasm? Never mind. That's another.
What?
You never heard of coregasm?
No. What are these ones called? Where you bring your feet in? The one where you put your legs out and you bring them in and out.
Well, let's look at the anatomy of the core first. I think a good trick. So for the people who are starting to work out their core and want to know what they're working out, here's a picture on the screen of the anatomy of a core or abdominals. So in the front you have your 8-pack, right, which is called your rectus abdominis. So those are the bumps that you feel on your stomach in the front. Whenever you hear somebody's training oh, this is a great workout for your lower core, this is not necessarily true, because your core is connected. It's connected through fascia.
One piece.
And it's one piece, exactly. So that's the front of your core, right? In the outer layer, the more superficial layer, you have external obliques, which shred this way. So in your body, they shred this way. Your internal obliques shred this way. So that's important to keep in mind as to what exercise you're doing. Anything that involves twisting will work your external and internal obliques. The next one you guys have is your transverse abdominis, which means it wraps around your whole body. And this is the secret to getting your waist small. I always told her, and I always had her do suck-ups, which is what you do is you lay on the ground, you push your belly button into your spine and up into your rib cage, and you squeeze your bladder as hard as you can. What you should do is you should feel pressure in your V as is your core tightening. What that is as you see in the screen, the muscles around your body shrink or tighten, and that's what sucks your waist in and gets you that V taper look. And for girls, especially the hips, the skinnier your core is, the wider your hips look, even if you have skinny hips. So that's just a way to get around that genetic factor. And another one, people, to keep in mind is the serratus anterior. Those are the right here, right into your lat, in front of your lat, which is this part. So those are the ripples, right, as they meet your external obliques.
Do you have them?
No, I don't have them right now.
He's fluffy right now.
I'm a little fluffy. But those are important to keep in mind as you're training obliques. So these are the 5 different muscles that involve your core, in which they should all be worked. Don't find yourself working rectus abdominis or just your external obliques, because you're not going to get the whole package. If you want a nice tapered body, you need to work everything. So that's the anatomy of the abdominals, and that's how different it should start looking at different exercises to train all of them, which we can put down in the description below.
Yeah, or we can make a video on it.
Or we can make a video of it.
Comment down below which one you want.
So let us know, and yeah, that's the anatomy and how you should learn to train everything in your core.
So going into exercise to make your waist smaller, something that a lot of people overlook or don't even know about is training your back. When you train your back, your muscles will grow out, and don't get the wrong idea, you're not going to look bulky. It just gives you a nice V taper. So when you work out these muscles, which are your lats like he was just talking about, they get wider, and that creates this kind of shape to your body, your upper body. And then when you train your lower body, so that's how you get the hourglass figure. Does that make sense?
These are some secrets right here.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be telling you guys these things.
Yeah, those are some secrets. Cardio. When's best to do it? We get this all the time in the DMs, asking about when do I do my cardio? That's a very impactful question. That's a very loaded question. So
it depends on what your goal is and if you're prepping for something, or
yeah, it just depends on your goal. So to get into a little science here, for instance, when you're trying to gain muscle, your body needs to go into an anabolic state, which means your body gains something. So your body needs to put on something that it didn't have. Obviously, cardio is going to prevent your body from doing that, right? So what happens is you release your P13K, AKT pathways when you do cardio, which is catabolic. And catabolic means breaking down. So if you think about Legos, you have a big building of Legos and you start taking them off. That's what catabolic means. Anabolic is putting on. So you can see the correlation between anabolic or anabolism, gaining weight, and catabolism, losing weight. So for instance, if you're trying to be anabolic, you want to do your cardio before you work out. Why? Because you're activating your catabolic pathways at the beginning and during your lifting set. And this can be for guys too, especially guys. You want to put on mass, you're going to go to the gym and you're lifting weights. Now you're activating what you call your mTOR pathway or your anabolic pathways. That's to cause your body to build up. If you do your cardio afterwards, now your body is becoming catabolic. So you're kind of counterintuitive to what your goal is. So you see a lot of people like, oh yeah, I'm trying to lean bulk. And then they go do 30 minutes of cardio after they lift. Like that doesn't make, obviously it's going to benefit you, but you can be more efficient. That can also work for people who are trying to lose weight. So if you're trying to lose weight, you do your exercises with weights first, and then you go into your post-workout for a what I call low intensity cardio training. So that's getting your body to burn fat. It's low intensity because your body is aerobic. So you're trying to utilize what they call beta oxidation, which means you're breaking down your adipose tissue or fat and using it as energy, because you have a lot of ketones or fats in your bloodstream that you need to get rid of after your workout. So those are the 2 ways you can kind of manipulate your cardio to achieve the goal that you want. So people saying when is best, it's very loaded. When is best is in the morning fasted, but that's a whole nother story. We can actually get into that. But before we do that, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I get this question all the time and it relates to this topic. You guys always ask me how much cardio I did when I first started, and if you guys should do cardio first to shed all the fat and then lift weights to like build muscle. And when I first started, I was a cardio bunny, and I used to do cardio for like an hour for like the first month, and that made me lose a lot of muscle mass that I had already had from cheer and gymnastics. So I basically had to start from square one, which wasn't fun to do, but you guys can prevent that. I would not recommend just doing cardio until you lose all the weight, because then you're gonna be what they call skinny fat. You're not gonna have any like muscle, you're just gonna be like flabby but skinny. It's not something you want to do. So like he was saying, cardio and then weight lift, that's the way to go.
And something I want to add to that is just doing cardio is or just doing weights is not a good way to go. You guys always want to be balanced. So I should be probably doing more cardio than I am doing, but
me too.
Alright guys, so as previously I was talking about fasted cardio. What fasted cardio means is early in the morning when your body has very energetically efficient, which your hormones are up to increase like your, like we were talking about, better like to lose fat. It's best to do cardio fasted right in the morning when you wake up.
Which means that you haven't ate anything yet.
Yeah. So, and it's important that you do low cardio. So let me explain the difference between high intensity and low intensity. High intensity, you're going to be tapping into what you call glycogen. You're going to be raising cortisol, which is not necessarily a good thing for losing weight.
And potentially burning muscle.
Through the hormones. So early in the morning, take your L-carnitine. Well, me personally, I take L-carnitine. I also take something called alpha GPC, which actually helps burn fat. And B12 vitamins are definitely a good thing to take. These are not the magic pill. These are just gonna help you.
Nothing is the magic pill. No supplement that you take is gonna automatically give you results. It's just gonna enhance the work that you're putting in.
So that's what I take to help me burn more fat in the morning. But my protocol is 20 minutes in the morning, 4 days a week, and abs 3 days a week. That's something you guys can try, and if you guys do that consistently for a month, you guys will lose more than 10 pounds. Yeah. It's really easy once you guys get into it.
So, food to get a snatched waist. I get this question all the time. What do you eat? What does your diet consist of? What did you eat when you first started? And like we said in the question, the Q&A is simple and basic. And that's my best advice to you guys.
So,
he's gonna get into all the science stuff right now.
If you guys read my Instagram post, you're gonna see a picture like this coming up on the screen. You guys can go follow me and read that. It talks about, it's a long post, but it talks about how losing fat is all about insulin control. So through the day, your body has a natural rhythm and it releases more insulin than it does other times. So at certain points in the day, your body's going to be very efficient at taking in carbohydrates, stuff like pasta, potatoes, and using it as energy. Other times, your body's going to be very resistant, meaning that you don't want to take it in, it's going to be converted to fat. So with that being said, it is important to time your meals. So if you are crazy about it, you can take blood samples throughout the day and you can see levels being elevated and lowering and increasing throughout the day. So
I never did that, guys. Okay.
Yeah, that's a little overkill, but just know, well, you
don't do it unless you're prepping for something.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
But you guys can find out more in my post, and you guys can see the times that most people's insulin is highest on a normal sleeping pattern.
As for food to avoid, before I started working out, before anything, I used to have those bags of pasta that you could just heat up. I used to have a bag of that to myself for dinner and lunch, and then I would have bread in between with butter on it. Those are foods that you want to avoid. Sweets, anything like that. And like, as for cravings when you're on a diet, try not to cave into your sweet cravings, because there's really no benefits in indulging in sweets. Whereas if you go for savory, there may be some benefits for you. Not the best, but there are some. Cheat day every day.
Yeah, so to add on what she said, like, obviously it's not that hard, guys. Like, you know what you're not supposed to eat. A lot of people DM us and be like, can I have this candy? I'm like, no. Like,
yeah.
obviously not. Like,
or like dried fruits. I don't know if she's gonna watch this, but one of our clients actually DM'd me a picture of the nutrition facts on dried mangoes, and it was like 4 pieces that are like that big, and it was 28 carbs and 20 grams of sugar for 4 pieces. And she's like, can I have this? And I was like, absolutely not. That's not what you want to be eating. Just because it's a fruit doesn't mean that it's healthy, especially dried fruits, because it's smaller size, so it doesn't fill you up as quick, as opposed to if you were to eat like a normal fruit that has more volume to it.
Yeah, that goes into like the glucose conversion.
Science.
Fructose. Yeah, so like basically what I wanted to get into is, for example, pasta, right? If you look at pasta, it's just, so pasta is a long chain of carbohydrates, and in your body, it breaks down very fast, and there's a lot of it. So those are the 2 things you don't want, right? Because there's a lot of carbohydrates, so your body can't digest it properly, and it's going to be converted to fat. Second, it gets broken up very fast. So those 2 things combined is no good for losing weight because of what I explained previously. So what you want are what they call high glycemic index food, like sweet potato, oatmeals. What's the GI count?
Oats, sweet potatoes, brown rice, white rice if you're taking it in at the right time, regular potatoes.
Basically what it is we can do another picture on the board, which is called a GI index. And your GI index is basically telling you like how fast carbs can be broken down and absorbed in the body. So what you want are low GI count foods, like what we just said. However, it's very hard to maintain that for a long period of time. So why? Because your body just wants to use it in a way that it can't. So it is important to have a balance between that and stuff that can be absorbed quickly. Obviously stay away from bread, that's pure starch. Stay away from pasta, that's pure starch. The flourless bread is great. Always make sure to combine carbohydrates with a protein source, which is the best way to go. If you're doing just carbohydrate, your body acts a little differently when it breaks it down. One more thing I want to get into, guys, is protein. So a lot of times people tell you to take in 24 grams, 30 grams. There's like a magic number that you take in per meal. Basically, that's not necessarily true. I like to do it per gram, per body weight, but it's important to see how much your body can use. So for instance, old people need more because they can't absorb it properly. So their leucine threshold, or the amount of protein they can take in, is higher than younger people. A lot of the times you hear, I hear this all the time, is like you have problems with your digestion because you're taking so much protein powder. Guys, farts are just ridiculous because like their body can't produce, get it out properly. Or it's even kidney problems because your body just, it takes so much to filter out the protein. So my tip to you guys is you guys don't need as much protein as marketers tell you. Obviously, marketers are going to tell you that you need so much protein because that's how they make their money. But what I can give you is, or what advice I would give you is, try to just take the right type of protein and the best protein you can as far as like organics. Anything organic is better than obviously not organic because of the way it's raised and all that. Mm-hmm. And another thing is, like, say you have chicken, right? Chicken feeds off the ground. That's where they get their stuff to make the chicken. It's important of what they eat. So it's called a third-party nutrition. If your chicken is eating shit, you're gonna be eating the chicken, which is shit. So make sure where it comes from. But yeah, don't think you need as much protein as you do. You guys can take in a lot less, and that'll lower your calories as well. So that's a pretty good thing.
Also, when people start their fitness journeys, they think protein powder is like the #1 thing that they need to get when they go to the supermarket. If you're able to take in the amount of protein that you need each day through food, then that's the best option to go. Protein powder is not meant to replace a meal necessarily or to hit your macros. It is convenient to do that if you're 30 grams off of your protein. Just have a glass of protein drink or a protein shake and it hits your macros for you. But if you can get it through food, do it that way.
And also, like, supplement advice, if you guys want, BCAAs or branched chain amino acids, stuff that are fermented, like the Blackstone Labs stuff is good. Evogen, their stuff's good. Stuff like that is real good because when it's fermented, your body can uptake it more properly. So that might what you want to look up to. Other than that, you should be taking food like she's saying. Food first, have all your ducks in a row like I always say, and then think about taking supplements.
Alright you guys, so we hope you enjoyed this video. We hope that you guys found some of this information useful and it answered some of your questions on how to get a snatched waist. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.